Throughout human history, pigeons have played an essential role in communication, particularly during times of war and conflict. Trained pigeons, often called homing pigeons, were among the first messengers capable of delivering coded messages across great distances, long before the advent of modern communication systems. Now let's learn where and when the use of pigeons as messengers first started. The earliest known use of pigeons as messengers is thought to have occurred in Egypt around 3000 BCE. Pigeons were likely used to relay messages along the Nile River, helping in the communication between different parts of the kingdom. Pigeons, known for their homing ability, played a vital role in establishing a reliable and efficient communication system in ancient times. This method became essential for transmitting important information across distances, especially in trade and governance. Over time, other civilizations also adopted the use of messenger pigeons, recognizing their effectiveness in delivering messages over long distances. The Persian Empire, under the Achaemenid dynasty, used pigeons for delivering messages. Pigeons were an important part of their communication system, particularly for military intelligence. The Persians used them to send messages over long distances and to monitor enemy movements. One of the earliest recorded instances of pigeons being used for communication was in ancient Greece. In 490 BCE, pigeons were used to announce the results of the Olympic Games to distant cities, helping to spread important news rapidly across the region. The Romans also adopted the use of pigeons for military communication. Roman armies utilized pigeons to send messages from the battlefield to their commanders. This allowed for swift transmission of information during military campaigns and helped coordinate large-scale operations. This system of communication allowed for the rapid transmission of strategic updates, battlefield conditions, troop movements, and requests for reinforcements or supplies. During the rise of the Islamic Empire, pigeons were used extensively for long-distance communication, especially in military and administrative contexts. In particular, Sultan Nur ad-Din in the 12th century employed a vast network of pigeon messengers across his empire, ensuring rapid communication of critical information. He established a well-organized network of pigeon lofts and trained messengers who could relay critical information swiftly. Now let's talk about Europe. Throughout Europe, pigeons continued to be used for communication, especially during times of war and political upheaval. Pigeons were often used to carry messages between cities under siege, relaying information that could not be sent by land. Pigeons played a crucial role in World War I, where they were used extensively by various armies to send important battlefield messages. Famous pigeons like Cher Ami saved countless lives by delivering messages despite being injured. Pigeons were often the only means of communication when radio and telegraph systems failed. One of the most famous uses of pigeons occurred during the siege of Paris in the Franco-Prussian War. With the city cut off from the rest of France, pigeons were used to carry vital military and governmental messages in and out of the besieged city. These messages were often microfilmed and attached to pigeons, marking an early use of encrypted communication. Cher Ami was one of many homing pigeons used by the United States Army Signal Corps during World War I. In 1918, during the Meuse-Argonne offensive, a significant battle between the Allied forces and German troops, Cher Ami was stationed with the 77th Infantry Division, also known as the Lost Battalion. This battalion, led by Major Charles Whittlesey, found itself trapped behind enemy lines in the Argonne Forest, France, from October 2nd to October 7th, 1918. The situation was dire, and Major Whittlesey's battalion desperately needed to get a message to their headquarters to stop the friendly artillery fire and request reinforcements. The battalion had 3 pigeons left, and Cher Ami was their last hope. As soon as Cher Ami was released, she flew into a hailstorm of bullets from the German forces. The Germans, aware that the battalion was using pigeons for communication, targeted her. Despite being shot through the breast, blinded in one eye, and having one of her legs hanging by a thread, Cher Ami continued to fly. Miraculously, despite her injuries, Cher Ami flew over 25 miles, 40 kilometers, in just about 25 minutes to reach the Allied headquarters. The message she carried helped the Allies pinpoint the exact location of the lost battalion and cease the friendly fire. This allowed reinforcements to be sent, and nearly 200 soldiers were saved from certain death, thanks to Cher Ami's bravery. During World War II, pigeons once again played a key role in military operations. Both the Allies and Axis powers used pigeons to send encrypted messages, especially in areas where radio communication could be intercepted by the enemy. Some pigeons were awarded medals for their bravery and service during the war. Now let's talk about their training. Homing pigeons were trained by taking them to different locations and releasing them to fly back to their home loft. This training took advantage of their natural homing instinct, allowing them to find their way back from distant locations. They were fed and cared for at their home base, which strengthened their connection to it. The first step was to create a stable, comfortable environment for the pigeons at their home base, called the loft. The pigeons were regularly fed and cared for at this location, which strengthened their bond to it. Messages were typically written on small pieces of paper or microfilm, which were then placed inside a small tube. This tube was attached to the pigeon's leg or back. The lightweight nature of the tube allowed the pigeon to fly unhindered. Once the message was securely attached, the pigeon would be released from its location, and it would instinctively return to its home base, carrying the message with it. This allowed for relatively fast communication, especially across large distances or during warfare when other lines of communication were compromised. Pigeons were highly reliable, with a success rate of over 90% in delivering messages, even in harsh weather or dangerous conditions. Unlike human messengers who could be intercepted, delayed, or harmed, pigeons flew independently, relying solely on their natural ability to find their way home. This autonomy allowed them to bypass obstacles like enemy soldiers, rough terrain, or dangerous battlefield conditions. With the development of modern communication systems like the telegraph, radio, and eventually the internet, the use of pigeons as messengers began to decline in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. However, their legacy as one of the earliest and most effective forms of long-distance communication remains a significant part of history. However, despite their decline, the legacy of pigeons as messengers remains a vital part of human history. For centuries, pigeons provided an effective solution for long-distance communication, especially in challenging conditions such as wars and difficult terrains. Their contribution to military victories, administrative efficiency, and personal communication is a testament to their historical significance. Their role in both ancient and modern conflicts, such as World War I and World War II, is still remembered today. Heroes like Cher Ami have immortalized the bravery and reliability of these birds, whose unique homing abilities made them invaluable to human society for thousands of years. Even in the era of digital communication, pigeons hold an enduring place in the story of human innovation in long-distance communication. Though no longer used for practical communication, pigeons have become a powerful symbol of peace, love, and freedom in the modern era, their history as messengers highlighting their deep connection to humanity's need for connection and communication. If you like this video, then please like, subscribe, and share. We will try to bring more videos like this for you.